We were never really huge, actually, and right now we're about a third of the size we were at our height, which was right back around 2009. And part of the reason for that is attention deficit. There's only so much time people have to waste during the day, and algorithmic social media sites have really sucked up a lot of that because there's just not that much time to waste. I was trying to explain this to my son the other day because he overheard me tell that to somebody else. He's like, "How does that work?" And I was like, "Okay, how much time do you spend screwing around all day?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Well, okay, so we know it's not 24 hours because you got to sleep. So that means we know it's not, but it's 16 hours because you go to school. So you have 8 hours left. And let's say you got to eat, you got to do your homework, you got to do whatever, that's it. And then you watch TV sometimes. It's maybe 5 or 4, and that's probably being really generous. And if something else comes along that, algorithmically burrows into your brain to the point where you can't put it down, other things are going to suffer. And the easier things to get rid of suffer first. And so in our case, comedic news is not really something that has a super broad appeal. I mean, it turns out that most of the people that are interested in this conversation are going to think, that seems silly, but it turns out most people don't really care about the news. So as a result, I mean, that's why The Daily Show isn't outdrawing CNN, for example. They've never beat CNN in ratings, and everybody knows about them. But it turns out as a product, it's limited by the number of people who would actually care about it.
To listen to this episode of the Formula Podcast, head on over to helixacademy.co or pull up your favorite podcast application on your smartphone and search for Helix Academy or the Formula Podcast with Trevor Carlson.